This is a web app I built with Lovable, and by the end of this video, it will be a real native app running on an iPhone and an Android device. And I'm going to build it without Xcode, without Android Studio, without even needing a Mac. We will build it in the cloud, install it on my phone, add a native camera feature, and even fix a bug using over-the-air updates. So here is the idea. The build happens in the cloud with Capawesome Cloud, so all you need locally is a code editor, Node, and Git on any operating system. Xcode and Android Studio are totally optional, only if you want a local emulator, but honestly, that's a lot more setup for this initial phase, so we will skip them entirely. To install on a real device and publish, you will want an Apple and Google developer accounts and a Capawesome Cloud account. So Capawesome Cloud is the mobile app platform for modern teams. It allows you to do all these tasks needed to get your mobile app into the stores. And the best part, you don't need to be a software developer to use it. So it's the perfect tool for this video. This video has a companion blog post with the same steps that we will follow here, but also includes lots of other links and resources that will make your life much easier if this is your first time building a mobile app with Capacitor. You can find the link in the description. So let's start. We will start with creating the app in Lovable. So of course, create an account, go to Lovable, and just describe the type of app that you want. Here I already did it. So in your prompt, you should include that this will be a mobile first experience. I included the screens, some things related to the design, the functionality, and some initial data, so the app is not empty. You can find this prompt on the blog post. So now that we have this app ready here, the idea of this video is to download this app, put this on GitHub, then from GitHub download it into a code editor. We will use Visual Studio Code. Then we will add Capacitor. I will explain what it is and how to add it and how to work with it. We will create the iOS and Android platforms, the iOS and Android native projects. Then we will upload this project into Capawesome Cloud. And then from Capawesome Cloud, we will do the builds, the native builds, and then the deploys. In order to do the builds and the deploys, you will see that we need some signing certificates for both platforms. So I will show you how to generate these signing certificates online using free tools from Capawesome. Then you will also need to create an Apple and Google developer accounts. The idea of this video is that you can have this app built from Lovable in the app stores. So let's get ready because we have a lot of work to do. Okay, so let's start by the first point, like to export our app from Lovable to GitHub. So you will go, click here, Git. Here I'm using GitHub. You can also use GitLab. You will connect your GitHub account. I already connected mine, but if you need to connect a new one, just click Add Connection, Add Account. You will have to log in with your GitHub account. If you don't have one, you will need to create one. And that's all. Okay. So let's go back. So I will put here Connect. As you can see here, Lovable is creating a new repository for this Spendly app and is syncing the code of this app into this repo. Let's check what happened. So here we'll paste this, this URL. Okay, so here we have a private repo with Spendly, and these are all the files that Lovable generated for my app. Okay, first step, ready. Next step will be to download, to clone this repo into my computer and to open it with Visual Studio Code or any code editor you want. If you want to download Visual Studio Code, it's free. You can do it from their website. Click here, or if you have Windows, find the link for Windows. Okay, and then to clone it, you will hit here, and you want to copy this URL. This is the URL of your repo. And I will open Visual Studio Code. So here you have the option to clone. You just paste this URL, hit enter. You select where you want to create this new folder for the repo. And this is ready. So this code is the same code we have. Where is it? We have here. Let's order this. Okay. Okay, so this is a React app created by Lovable. Inside this source folder, you will have all the code related to this web app. Let's now try to build this and see it running on our browser. So to do it, the first thing you want to do is to install the project dependencies. These are all the dependencies listed here. A lot of dependencies, that this is done by our friend Lovable. So you will do this with npm install. If you don't have Node installed, this is the moment that you will need to install on your computer Node and npm. On the blog post, I will leave all the links to these configurations. So if you are totally new to the developing world, you will have to do this. It's just the first time, so don't worry. Okay, so all the packages have been installed. The packages will be here in this node modules folder. And now we want to run the app. So let's do npm run dev. This dev refers to this dev script. Here in the scripts you can write your own, of course, but you have the scripts used by this project to run, to build, to link, format, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's see what happens. So here, as you see in this URL, you can check, we can check this app. So let's go to this URL. Okay, so this, if you go here, this is the app that we have running locally. So you can see it working. Okay, you can create anything that you want. Okay, so here. Okay, so now this is running on the web. Okay, so we want to create a mobile app, just as I showed you here. This is my iPhone emulator. So we want to put Spendly here. I will show you how to do it because this is a web app and we want to create native apps, native iOS and native Android applications. For that, we will use Capacitor. So Capacitor is created by the Ionic team, but it's totally independent from the Ionic framework. And it's a cross-platform native runtime for web apps. It basically, in simple words, it's like the bridge between your web app and your native app. You can see it as a shell containing your web application, like this React application, and this shell runs inside a native iOS or Android applications that can be uploaded to the stores and can use the native functionalities from the device, such as the camera, geolocation, everything that the device can do. You can do it with Capacitor using the Capacitor plugins, but we will talk about that later. Okay, so we want to install Capacitor in our application. To do this, we will run npm install Capacitor core and also the CLI Capacitor CLI. Okay, you can see them added here, and now we will initialize npx cap init. From initialize, we will initialize this project as a Capacitor project. So here we have to select a name for our application. We have to select the bundle ID. You can change all these names later, so don't worry. Spendly. And all this information was entered here. So this file was created. Let's fix this. Okay. App ID, app name, and web directory. This web directory is very important, okay? Because we'll have, each time we change anything inside this source folder, this is where our web application lives, our React web application lives. Every time we change anything in our web application and we want to synchronize it with our native applications, we have to do first to build it. So we will run this build command, npm run build. And then to synchronize it to our native application. So it will lead to copy. As you can see, when we run this build, this dist folder, distribution folder was created. So here are all the, like we have this index.html, and all this is all our web app, compressed, minified, and all, all the code from here is inside this tiny not, but these single files. Okay, so every time you change something and you want to synchronize it, you need to build it. Perfect. So I was saying that this is important because here you want to put the name of your folder where your files are being compiled to. Depending on the framework that you are using, it can be different. Okay, for example, for Angular is www. For React is this. But it's different. I will put some examples on the blog post. So in case you're using any other framework, you don't feel lost here. Okay. Okay, perfect. So now we want to create the Android and the iOS native projects. We will use Capacitor for this. So we will, let me copy the command. We will run this npm install Capacitor iOS and Capacitor Android. Those are packages, new packages. And now let's use npx cap add iOS, npx cap add Android. So each of these commands created our Android and iOS projects. You can see these are native projects, totally native projects that we have ready here. So now we have to synchronize it. I mean, we have to put this folder, not this folder, but the files, the web files, into the iOS and Android project. So we will do npx cap sync. Okay, so as you can see, it says copying web assets from this to this folder, and here the same for Android. Okay, perfect. So we have our Android and iOS projects. That's awesome. Now, I want to, as you can see, we have 75 files modified because these are all the files from the native projects. For example, the splash screen, but then you can, I will show you how to change this everything, but I want to commit all this into GitHub, into our GitHub project where we clone this from. So let's do this. As you can see, we have a git ignore file here. It's very important that this was created automatically by Lovable, but I want to mention something. It's very important that your iOS and your Android folders are committed into the source repository, into the remote repository. Okay, because if you're working with someone, or if you then want to, for example, for Capawesome Capawesome will read this project from GitHub. So Capawesome needs the iOS and the Android folders. Just a note, but make sure those are committed to GitHub. So let's do git add. Okay, and git commit add capacitor, I don't know, something. Okay, now git push. Okay, perfect. So if we check on GitHub and we refresh, yeah, we have this add capacitor commit with all our latest commit and the iOS and Android folders. Perfect. Okay, so let's clean this. Let's close this and this. So now let's pull this repo from Capawesome Cloud, and let's do the build in the cloud as I promised. Okay, so in Capawesome Cloud, you will have to create a new account. You will go here to log in. We have free 14 days trial. If you go here, you can see the different subscriptions. You can start as low as 19 a month on the 14-day free trial. Okay, so you will go here and create a new account. I already have mine, but creating is as easy as entering an email or doing any OAuth authentication, like social authentication. Okay, so when you go inside the Capawesome console, you will have this empty. Here will all your applications. So we will create a new application for Spendly. Okay, so you hit create, enter a name, and here you can select the type. Okay, this is a capacitor application, but you could also use Capawesome with any of these other projects. Okay, create. Okay, so after we created Spendly, we will connect our GitHub repo with this project. Okay, so you will enter here and scroll down to settings where you see this Git option. You can use any Git provider. We are using GitHub. Okay, so I have already connected my GitHub account, but here you will hit connect and you will do all the connection flow similar to the one we did with Lovable. And here you have to select your repository. So the name was Spendly. Oh, it was there. Here. Okay, so we'll hit save. So now the Git repository is successfully linked to our app. If we go back, Spendly, you saw here that the project is linked. Okay, perfect. So now when we go to builds, if you click build from Git, here you can select the name of the branch, our branch. You can check the name of your branch here. By default, the name is main. But so now what we want to do is from this main branch, we want to build the code in Capawesome Cloud. So from main, here you can build for different platforms. You can build for Android, for iOS, or for web. For web is to do a live update. We will talk about that later. So let's start for iOS, okay? Each time you create a build, you need to select the build type. You have different options. All of this is super detailed, explained in specific blog posts and specific videos. In the main blog post, you will have all the links. So I don't have the time to go into into detail into each of these specifics because the video will be like 5 hours. But please, if you're new to this, feel free to deep dive into each of these blog posts, okay? So here you can select different kind of builds, okay? So let's start with development. And then these are more advanced features that I will not cover now because this is a beginner's video, but again, you can check everything in the documentation. And then for iOS, we need a certificate. The certificate is something that states that you are allowed to build this application. It's like something to prove your identity, okay? Both Android and iOS require like different kind of certificates, but both require it. So I will show you how to do it. And then if you want to create for Android, it's kind of similar. You can select a debug or a release build. And then the same, the certificate for Android debug builds does not require a certificate, but the release build, yes. Okay. So let's generate the certificates before we can make the builds. As you can see in Capawesome Cloud, you have this signing certificates section. So you can list here all your certificates. Okay. You will hit create certificate, and here you see you have a link. So click it and open it. Here it's all the explanation of how to create the certificates. So to create the iOS certificate, here you have all the information, everything that you want. There are different ways to create the credentials. I want to show you how to use the online generator from Capawesome. So you will click here. And here you need to enter the details to download the certificate request. So you have here all the explanations but let's do it as an example. Organization, Spendly. Okay, this is optional. Country. Okay. Here it explains everything, but as I As I mentioned, the sign-in certificate authenticates your identity as a developer and allows you to sign the apps for distribution, okay? So you will click here and you have a certificate sign-in request. So now you have to go to this link. You need, as I mentioned before, you need developer account. So you need a developer account. You have to create it for the first time. It's $99 yearly, okay, but you need one. So once you have one, okay, so I have to sign this, sorry. Okay, so as it said here, you need to go to certificates, identifiers, and profiles, okay? And here you have to follow all these steps, like click on the plus button to add a new certificate, select if you want the development or distribution as the type. I mean, you want both. You want to have one for development and one for distribution. As you can see, I already have like here, development distribution. And what else? So then you have to upload the file we downloaded in the previous type. And after uploading this file and entering all the other information, you will be able to download the certificate that you have to put it here, okay? So I will show you how to do it. So here you need to select development or distribution. Let's hit development. You will upload the file downloaded here, okay? Continue, okay? And now you hit download. It's here, perfect. So now we will go back here and we will select this file. And you have to enter a password to protect your certificate. And after you download here, you will get a P12 file that you can use for signing your application. This file is the one that we will be adding here in Capawesome Cloud, okay? So let's enter a password. Okay, and download. Cool. So now if we go back to here, let's create a certificate, name iOS development platform iOS. Choose the certificate file, certificate password, the one you entered just before. And here you need the provisioning profile. So we need to create a provisioning profile. What's a provisioning profile? You can learn this here. It's another file that is required to run your app on devices, and you define which devices and capabilities from the device your app can use. So as you can imagine, you can have many provisioning profiles, for example, for different devices. We will follow the documentation and we will create it from the Apple Developer Portal, okay? So we will go again to our account and to profiles here. And we have to create a new profile. So a provision profile, it allows you to build the app on your phone. Okay, so I want to build the app on my iPhone. So I have to select, I have to submit this provisioning profile that allows me to put the app on the phone. Okay, so you can have you can have multiple provisioning profiles for different devices. Okay, so here you have to select the kind of provisioning profile. So this is iOS development. And here you need to select the app ID. So the app ID is the one that we put here. So let's copy it. So because it's not listed here, we'll have to create it first. So let's go back and in identifiers, let's create a new one, okay? So app ID, continue, app. And here the bundle ID, let's put this one and description, Lovable demo app, okay? So here for the future, if you need any capabilities like push notification and this, you will come here to enable them, okay? Continue and register. Okay, so this can happen, and it's good that it happened live, so I can explain you what is happening and how to solve it. So this has to be unique in the world, unique in the App Store. So the problem is that this is already taken, so we need to select another one. Because typically this will be something related to your company. So for example, you can see here domain name. So we could use, for example, something like cap or Capawesome Cloud. Okay, this is much better. Then we will need to update it in the project also. So continue, register. Okay, now yes. So let's go again to profiles and create a new provisioning profile with this. Perfect. Continue. Okay, here you will have the certificate that you created in the previous step. I will create both because I don't know which one is the one that I created recently. And here, this is my iPhone. Let's include my devices, select all. Okay. And the name of the provisioning profile, this will be Spendly iPhone dev. Cool. Let's download this. And let's put everything, let's create our signing certificate in Capawesome Cloud. So, name, dev, iOS, dev. Okay, platform, iOS. Certificate file, this one. Certificate password, the one we entered below. Provisioning profile, Spendly. Create. Yay! We have our development signing certificate. So now we are ready to create our first iOS build. Let's go here, build, platform, iOS, build type, development, certificate, iOS dev. Let's try if this works. So what is happening here is that Capawesome is building our iOS app in the cloud. So this iOS project is being built here as promised without Xcode. Okay, so let's wait for this to happen. Okay, this finished and it failed, but you know what? I forgot to do something. We changed the bundle ID in here in Apple, and we didn't change it on the project, so it was seen that it will fail. But what I wanted to mention before going to change this in our project is that Capawesome did all the build on the cloud, and here you have all the logs of what happened, like how everything is being set up, all the steps, blah, blah, blah. And here, well, you have the errors or the success. So we need to replace this here with our new, what was the name? Okay, I have it here. So let's put this. And we also need to change it manually in the, let's see, what was it, Spendly? Here. We need to change it manually in the native projects, okay? But don't worry, you can use our find and replace feature. Okay, so now we will do the build and the sync. Let's just, okay. So as you can see, we changed all these files. We will now have to commit this. So git add, git commit, change bundle ID. Let's do this correctly. Okay, so git push. Okay, so now we'll have to do the build again and everything, but it's good that this happened because you can see how to fix it. Okay, so let's go again. Build type development, certificate, development. Okay, build. So let's see if now it worked or if there is another error that we have to fix. And it finally finished after 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Okay, so what happened? Capawesome Cloud build the iOS project on the cloud. And here for development, and here we have the different artifacts. So this is our app. So here you have all the logs if you want to check, and now we can deploy it. Okay, so we have different options. We could create a new deploy based on this build. Going here, create deployment. You have to select the build number, so it's number 3. Destination. Okay, nothing, because we have to create a new destination here. Okay, but what I wanted to show you before is that we can also use this new feature, which is to install the app on our phone. Okay, so you have to scan the QR code with your iOS device. Let's do this. Okay, I will scan it. And here it says that Capawesome wants to install Spendly. Okay, it's in Spanish, but you can trust me. So now the app is being installed. And let me show you if this worked. Okay, let's open Spendly. Yay! Okay, the app is here. Let me try. It works perfectly. Okay, so this is a way to test it. The same works for Android. And this is very cool, right? But as mentioned here, you have to make sure, you couldn't try it with any iPhone. Your iPhone needs to be included in the provisioning profile that we put before, okay? Okay, good. So I wanted to mention the other thing. So deployments. If you want to, for example, deploy these into TestFlight, so in the App Store, you need to create a new store destination. But before creating a store destination for iOS, let's create our first build for Android. Okay, so we will also need a certificate for Android. So it's the same. You need to create a key store file. Let's see how to generate one. If we go here, key store, here we have all the documentation on how to create one, but I want to use the online generator, like similar to what we use for iOS here. So we need to enter all the details. Okay, so now we will download this. Oh, okay. So we have our P12 file here. Now let's go back to here and select it was this one, right? Yeah. And the name, it will be Android certificate. And we have to enter the password. The alias, it was Spendly. Did I enter Spendly app? Yeah, Spendly app. And the key password. So now we will create notes. Okay, so now let's create a build for Android. So we will do the same that we did for Apple, but for Android. So here, if you want to create a debug build, you don't need to enter any certificate. If you want to create a release build, you need to enter the certificate. Okay, let's start with debug and let's hit build. So this it will do the same. Capawesome will build the Android app in the cloud without Android Studio. And then we will be able to test it on our Android device, okay, with the same QR code thingy that we did with Apple. The good thing here is that Android doesn't have this provisioning profiles thing, so you could try it on any Android device, okay? So the logs are going and everything is going well. We need to wait a few minutes for this to build. Okay, so our Android app successfully built. So the same as we had for iOS, we have it for Android. We have the different artifacts, APK and AAB. And we have this install app option to run it on my Android device. So let's try it. You have to open the camera and scan this with your device and open it in the browser. Download. This will download the APK and install it on your device, okay? Okay, and I have the app installed on my Android phone. I can see it works. It has some visual issues that we can correct later, but everything works smoothly. Okay, cool. So, okay, so now let's recap, okay? We have created our web app in Lovable. We have created we have downloaded this app, we have pushed it to GitHub, we have downloaded in our computer, we have installed Capacitor, we have created the native iOS and Android project using Capacitor, we have created the Capawesome Cloud app, and we have uploaded the Spendly app here. We have created the signing certificates for both Apple and Android. We have been able to create a build for both Apple and Android. We have been able to successfully install those builds in an iPhone and an Android device. And that's a lot, I know. And the next step will be to create a store destination for both Apple and Android and to submit our deploys there. Okay, so what is a store destination? A store destination can be TestFlight, can be Google internal testing. So that's directly inside the app stores. Okay, and that's the next step. We have a build and we will deploy this build. You deploy the builds to the store destinations. So we need to create store destination for Android and for iOS. Let's start with Android. Okay, so it's important that you open the store destination documentation to learn all the different options that you have, okay? So let's create it. Sorry. So let's create it for Android, okay? We will start with internal testing. So both platforms have different tracks, okay? So for example, for Android, we have internal testing, alpha, beta, or production. For iOS, we have TestFlight or we have production. So we want to start with internal testing, track internal, yeah. Package name. So our package name was, let's copy it. I don't want to invent this one. Let's use this format and the release. It can be draft or completed. Here you have the documentation. Choose draft for initial releases that require manual review before publishing. Yes, we want to choose draft. And here we need a JSON key file. What's this? Let's go to the documentation. It's a service account JSON file from Google Play Store. Okay, so I didn't mention this before, but you had, in order to submit to Google Play, you need to create a Google developer account. It's $25 for right now, and you only buy it once. Different than for Apple that you need to pay yearly. You only buy it once. Okay, so if you click here, we have all the details, all the steps to create a new JSON key file. So first we need to navigate to the Google Cloud Console account and create a new project, okay? So let's click here on new project. My project name will be Spendly. My billing account, okay, you don't need a billing account. And okay, perfect. So now we need to go to this option. And you just have to follow this documentation. So create a new service account, service accounts, create a new service account. So here we need to enter a name, Spendly service account. I don't know. And then create and continue. Okay, so then for the permissions, you can leave this empty and click continue and continue. Okay, We will copy this email and now we will click here and manage keys. Okay, so here we need to go to the keys tab and create a new key. And we will create JSON. And our JSON key was downloaded successfully. Okay, so we will come here and invite new user. And here you have to enter the email that we have copied from the Google console. And here in app, we need to select Spendly. Okay, but Spendly is not created. So first we need to create it. Okay, so let's go back to the home page and create a new app. So Spendly package name, it was this one. This is an app, free, and declaration, yes, and yes. Okay, create app. And cool, our app is created, so let's go again and invite new user. Okay, need to copy again the email. It was in service accounts, this email. Okay, so copy here. And in app permissions, we want to grant access to Spendly. Okay, so here you need to add the permissions. Let's grant admin permissions that you then can read everything carefully to see what permissions you need. And let's check if we need anything else. Make sure to check at least the permissions in release section, click apply, and finally invite the user. Upload this JSON file. Okay, invite the user, send invite. Okay, perfect. Now we have to upload the JSON file that we downloaded before in Google Play Console. Okay, so here was this one. And create. So now let's deploy our Android build. So here you need to enter build number. So let's check. It's this one. So let's go to deployments, create deployment, build for, and destination internal testing, create. Okay, so this will deploy our Android app to the internal testing. So this will take a few minutes, but then we will be able to see the logs and if it successfully worked. Okay. Now we have to do the same, but for iOS. But let's wait to test. Oh, okay. We have Google Play Android Developer API has not been used in project before, or it is disabled, enabled by visiting and then retry. Okay. Let's try. What is it here? Google Play Android Developer API. No, we didn't do this, so we forgot to do it. I forgot to do it. Enable. Okay. Okay, now that it's enabled, let's try again to deploy it again, okay? So let's do a rerun. Yes, rerun. Okay, we have another error. Invalid request. APK has been signed in debug mode. Okay, so you want it in the other mode. Okay, let's do another build. From main, platform, Android, build type, release. Okay, so let's go through the documentation. I want to refresh my mind. So if we go to native build, reference build type, Android build types, we previously selected debug, but now, yeah, it's released because it says this build type is required for publishing to the Google Play Store. So this is the error. Okay, so as you see, this is live coding. We need to create another build with the type release. Okay, so for this, we will use the certificate we created before. Let's hit build. We have to wait for this build to finish and then we will deploy it again. Okay, so the good thing about this is that You can have errors because errors happen, and specifically at this point, well, you have to configure everything like for the first time. It's a bit hard and difficult, even for me that I have done this dozens of times, but it's something that you do it and then you forgot, like clean my mind. So every time I have to do it again for a new app, I always go through this back and forth and configuring and trial and error. I mean, it's life. It's okay if it happens. Don't worry. The good thing is that we have our logs with the detailed error messages. So hopefully it will be easy to fix every error. Okay, so we have to wait for the build to finish. It will take 1 more minute maybe. It's finished. Let's deploy this build. Destination, internal testing. Okay. View. Okay, and update. Status succeeded. Yay! So if we now go to our Google Play console and we go into Spendly and we go into test and release. So we have these testing tracks. We put it in internal testing. So here we can see that we have our first release, this one. So you have your release here, and you have all the information, the size, and blah, blah, blah. And here you can save it and publish it in the internal testing. You're not publishing live, you're publishing only in this track for testers to be able to test it, okay? So it's already available for internal testers. Who are the internal testers? We need to add a list of testers. Okay, save changes, create. So here you will add all the emails from your testers, and the testers will receive an email saying, this app is available for testing, so please test it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so congratulations, you have your Android app on the Google Play console. It is ready for testing. So now, in a real world scenario, what will happen is that you will test the app, you will see that everything works good, and then you will fix bugs or issues that happen, and then you will be ready to create a production build and deploy to the real world. Okay, so for this, you will have to create another deployment and the type. So here you select the and the type will be, you have to create another destination. So store destination, you will create a new destination for production. Okay, so it will be Android production. And again, you have to enter the package name. And here completed. Okay, the same key, create. So when your app is ready, you will create a new deployment for this destination. Android production, create. So after this is ready, this will be, you will find it here in the production. So in Android Play, Google Play console, you have the testing tracks and the production. So it's very well divided, so you don't make any errors, okay? Okay, so, this deployment failed, and yeah, it's correct. So because we are testing now, we didn't release we didn't create a new build, so the version is the same. So in a real world, you will have created a new build with a new version number. So both stores have the same validation checks, so they don't allow you to submit a build with the same version twice. So you have to create a new build with a new version number and then deploy it. Okay, now let's go to Apple. Let's create our store destination for Apple. Okay, so now it's the time to create the store destination for Apple. So let's start by creating the destination here for TestFlight iOS. And here we need specific details that we need to take from Apple console, okay? If you want to check the documentation to see what is each of these properties, you can check it in Capawesome Cloud documentation here in Apple App Store, okay? So here you have all the specifics, and let's get this. So first we need to enter the Apple ID, which has the subscription to Apple development. Now you need the Apple App ID. So this is the ID of the app inside Apple. Okay, so remember like 25 minutes ago, we created this identifier for Spendly. Okay, so now we need to create an app for this identifier. So in order to create the app, we will go here to App Store Connect the /apps. And as you can see, I already created the app for Spendly, but what I did is clicking here, new app, selecting iOS, Spendly, I selected the primary language, English, and here in bundle ID, I selected Spendly. So it's the one we registered here. And here you need to enter a unique name, only visible to you, not visible to users, so something to identify the app, okay? And here I selected full access. You want to select full access unless you want to only allow this app to be visible to only a limited set of users, okay? So after you hit create, you will have your app here. So from this place, app information is where we are going to get our ID. Okay, so let's copy this ID and paste it here. Now, the team ID, we can get the team ID from the certificate identifiers and profiles here, this one. So inside the identifier of Spendly, we have this team ID. We will copy and paste it here. Now, app-specific password, what's this? It's a generated password for specific authentication of the app. If you want to check the step-by-step of how to get one, you will go to the documentation and follow this. So let's create a password. We will go to Apple ID account page. It's this one. I'm already logged in. Then you go security, under app specific password, generate a new password. So it's here, generate a new password. And here we can use Capawesome Cloud Spendly. Okay, create. And this is the password for my Apple ID account. Okay, we have this password. Oh, we need to copy and put it here. Okay, perfect. So we are creating our store destination for TestFlight. Let's hit create. So let's go now to the certificates. In order to deploy to TestFlight, we need to create a distribution certificate, okay? So this one will not work because it's for development. So we want to create a new distribution iOS certificate for iOS. So we need a new certificate file and a new provisioning profile. So remember the same that we did for development. Okay, we now need to do this for distribution. So let's do this quickly. Again, we will go to our online certificate generator. I have it here. So I already pre-filled all the same information that I did before to download the certificate request. Okay, so now we need to go to certificates, identifiers, and profiles and click a new and create a new certificate. Okay, let's go there. You can see that the one we have is for development. Okay, we need to create a new one for distribution. So we will hit or either Apple distribution or iOS distribution. Okay, and continue. And now we need to upload the signing request we have downloaded from the previous step. Continue and download. Perfect. So we have this distribution file that we need to put it here. And now we need to enter a password. Let me do it again. just in case, download. Okay, so now we go back to here and upload this certificate with our password. Okay, we now need a provisioning profile, a new one. So let's go back to App Store. Let's go to Profiles and create an App Store profile for Spendly. Okay, so you have development and distribution, App Store Connect, continue, Spendly, continue, and here we want to select this one. It's the one I just created. Okay, so you need to put a name, distribution, Spendly, generate, and download. Okay, so let's go back again here, and so it's this one, create. Okay, let's see if this works. We have our new distribution certificate for iOS. We need to test and see if this works. We will create a new build for iOS, build type, App Store, certificate, distribution, and let's click this checkbox. So if everything goes well in the build, the app will be automatically deployed to TestFlight, but only if everything goes well. So cross your fingers and let's wait. So our build succeeded, yay! And now let's see if the deployment succeeded. If we go to the deployment tab, yay, everything succeeded. So let's go to App Store Connect and check if we have our new version in TestFlight. So this could take some time, so it's normal if this is not here yet, but we have to wait, okay? So let's see the logs. In the deployment, iOS app deployed successfully to TestFlight, okay. So as it says here, successfully uploaded to App Store Connect, it might take a few minutes until it's visible online. So don't panic. It happens to me all the time. We will wait. And meanwhile, we will do something else. Okay. Thank you. You're here. Okay, so as you can see, we have our first version. It's processing. To be honest, this looks very ugly. We don't have a logo for our app. We need to put much effort here to make this app nice and tidy. Okay, after your app finishes the processing, you will find this missing compliance message. So here you have to go over these questions. Please read them carefully and answer them carefully. It's very important. Okay. So after you submit that, it says ready to submit. So you will click here and you can invite testers. The same that we did for Android, you can do it here. So invite new testers. So I will invite me. Okay, next. And you can add some information. So test the app. Okay, and what else? You need to add a feedback email. And you also need to complete this information. Oof, I need to put everything. Okay, you will complete everything and add next. And if you want to notify users, please test this Spendly new version. Submit for review, okay? You will click here and this will automatically notify testers. Okay, yeah, you need to put a valid phone. Don't do like me. Okay, so we have our app ready to submit. The flow will be like this. after you try your app on TestFlight, all your testers tried it, and you think it's good, you can add this version for review, okay? As you can see, you need to add all this information here, the screenshots, and follow all of this. To be honest, it takes some time at the beginning, but the good part is that you only need to do it once. We have a specific blog post about this that you can find here. How to prepare your App Store listing. I will put the link to this blog post in the blog post that is related to this video. But here you can find everything that you need to do. It's super detailed and it has lots of resources, as you can see. So take your time. Okay, so what else? So at this moment, you already have your both applications at both stores. Okay, so before submitting them for distribution, you need to complete all the things that I mentioned, like create the icons, create the splash screen, create all the profiles, both in App Store Connect and in Google Play. And then your apps will be ready for distribution. Congratulations. So before ending this video, I want to show you two more things. Very important things that will help you as you continue developing your app and you continue adding more features, because of course Spendly was a very basic app. No one wants to publish an app like that. Like, you want to iterate over your app, add native features. I also want to show you how to set up the live updates. What are the live updates? I will explain you now. And I want to show you how to use any of the capabilities from the phone. So I want to show you how to install a Capacitor plugin to use the camera, and show you all the other hundreds of plugins that you can use to make your app more rich in features, right? There are endless possibilities of the features that you can add to your app and the user experience you can create for your users. Here at Capawesome, we have hundreds of plugins. Most of them are free, but we also have other plugins that are like professionally maintained and with immediate support. If you go here to pricing, you will see that, for example, if you choose the starter pack for the platform offering, you will see that you have included 2 Insiders SDKs. So the name of these professional plugins is Insider SDKs. We have lots of SDKs. You can check them here. So 22 enterprise SDKs, but every month we are adding more, depending on feedback from our users. So feel free to check them here. So as I told you, with the starter pack, you already have access to 2 of them. If you need more, you can check the other, like the professional. With the professional pack, you have access to 4, and here 8, and blah, blah, blah. So check them carefully. Okay, after we have created all the builds and deployments for all the store destinations, so you can ask, okay, what's next? How can I upload, like, what's this live updates thingy that everyone is talking? How can I upload a live update? What are the live updates? What's the benefit of them? Okay, I will explain you. One of the main benefits of using Capawesome Cloud and Capacitor is that you can have access to live updates. Live updates don't need to go through the app stores. So after you have successfully published your first version in both App Store and Google Play, you can submit live updates to your users. This means that you can add any fixes or UI changes, and you can deploy them through Capawesome Cloud without going to the stores. Okay, I will leave you links to this documentation. So we have a very specific guide. So Capacitor live updates, the complete over-the-air guide. This means over-the-air. Another name for live updates is over-the-air updates. Okay, So I encourage you to read this because it explains how live updates work, what are the limitations, what you need to have in consideration, all the different strategies that you can use, best practices, security. It's another new world, but it's super powerful and amazing, okay? So in this video, I will show you the basic setup and how to use it. But we have other videos with more advanced use cases. Okay, so in order to use live updates, we need to install the live updates plugin. Okay, so I think here we have a getting started guide. Yeah, if you want to if you want to set it up with AI, you can follow these skills. If you want to set it up by hand, you can follow this guide. Okay, so let's do it manually. So the first step would be to install the SDK in our application. Okay, so this is needed so our app can download and the live updates. And now we need to do cap sync because every time we add a new plugin, we need to run sync in order to sync this to the native platforms. As you can see, the sync added this package in here in iOS and also in Android. Okay, so we have the SDK installed. This SDK is free. Okay, in order to configure it, we will copy this configuration in our capacitor config file. So let's go to our project, capacitor config. Let's paste this, and we want to copy only this part. Okay, it will be here. So here we need to replace this with our app ID. You can find your app ID in Capawesome Cloud. If you go to your home screen, you will see apps, and this is the app ID. Okay, so you copy it, you paste it here, and save. Okay, so what are these? As I mentioned, everything is explained on the blog post, but this means that the strategy for the live updates to download will be in background. So every time there's a new live update ready for your users, your phone, your app, the app on the phone of the users will download the new files, the new code in the background. And when the download is ready, it will swap the app. Okay, so your users will have the new version, but the download will be on the background. As I mentioned before, there are different strategies. You can choose your own based on the UX that you want to provide for your users. Okay, so let's go back to the tutorial. So after you have added the configuration, you need to do again a sync. Okay, you need to do again a sync to synchronize this. So npx cap sync, ready. And now for the basic setup, we only need to add this line of code as early as possible at the app start. So to signal that the new bundle started successfully. If it fails, we can set up an automatic rollback for the previous version. Okay, so let's go to the beginning of like where our app starts, our React app starts. So inside source, and okay, because this is a React app, we will add this code in the main file just after, like in the bootstrap function, the first line. Okay, so that's all. Now let's test it. Let's publish our first update. Okay, so first we need to publish a version. I mean, we added a new capacitor plugin, so which is the live update plugin. So in order to this to work, we need to publish a new native build. Okay, because the difference between live updates and native updates is that every time you add a new plugin or you touch anything that is outside of your source folder, you need to submit a new native build. Because we added a plugin, then we need to, live updates are not enough. Okay, so we will run npm run build npx cap sync. Okay, and we want to commit this, so git add git commit, so add live updates Okay, so we will commit this and git push. Okay, ready. So we have this new code in GitHub, so let's create a new build. Okay, let's go to builds, create a new build from main, platform, iOS, build type. Let's do it in development so I can show you on my phone the before and after. So development, certificate, development. Okay, and okay, build. Okay, the build is ready, new native build for iOS. So let's install this new build on my phone. I will use this install app feature for simplicity. Okay, so I will scan it with my phone. And I will install this. Let me open my phone on the screen so you can see it better. Okay, so I was able to successfully put my screen on the video so you can see the app installed on my phone. Okay, so this is the new build, native build that we have. Okay, so right now, what I want to do is to submit a new live update so you can see that this works. Okay, so we want to change something simple, very easy to check. So I will change this, that instead of reading Spendly, it will be live updates, for example. So we should have to go to this home page from the React app. And this is the Spendly text. We will put live updates. We will save. And that's all. Now we have to build the app. So it will be npm run build. We have to sync npx cat sync. And that's all. We only need to to commit. So git add, git commit, change title, git push. Oh, git push. Okay, so now we have to go to the builds, and we want to create a new build from main, but the platform will be web now. So this is a live update. Okay, so just hit build. And we have here the logs, same as the build for the other platform. Let's wait for this to finish. And the build ended successfully. Okay, we will now deploy this as a live update. Okay, so for the channels, in this video, we will not go into details for channels, but channels are very powerful. You want to read about this in the other blog post, okay? But for this, we will use the basic configuration, which is the default channel. Okay, so we will create the live update. And let's see the logs. Okay, so this is ready. So what happens now? We need to go to our app in my device. Okay, so we will close the app and open it again. And after we open it again, we see the live updates here. I will put this on the screen so you can check it. Okay, so I have refreshed the view from my phone, so you can see it here on the screen. As you can see, it says live updates. So what I did is to close the app. So the new live update was downloaded in the background. So then when I close the app and I open it again, the new version is live. Okay, so as I explained you, there are different strategies, lots of different strategies. For example, you can show up like an alert, like there's a new version of your app, do you want to upload it? So yes or no. You can do it without closing the app. So the app is listening for each time there's a new live update published, and when the listener like triggers, then the app downloads the new version and shows a message to the user. There are lots of strategies. You want to check the blog post for this. So that's all. That's all for this huge video. I hope this is useful. And again, there are lots of things that you can do with Capawesome Cloud and Capacitor. Please leave me your comments if you want another video covering any other specific things, like, for example, using Capacitor plugins. I hope this video was helpful, and I encourage you to join to our newsletter and our Discord channel. That's where the Capacitor community is active, and you will get tons of videos like this and blog posts and free resources. So make sure to subscribe. Bye.